We're looking today at James chapter 4, verse 11 and 12. And it reads, "Do not speak against one another, brethren. He who speaks against a brother or judges his brother speaks against the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of a law, but a judge of it. There is only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and to destroy. But who are you who judge your neighbors?" Do you judge people? Yes. Isn't it, when you hear people speak something against you, it doesn't feel good, right? You feel bad about it. Especially if you hear something that is not true. They say like, Bettina, let's say in camp, Bettina, you heard that people were saying, Bettina's really nasty. She's really not nice. She likes lying. And you heard it from one of your best friends telling you that another camper was saying that to you. What would you feel? And you, Bambino, let's say somebody tells you that, si Bambino, ang yabang-yabang niyan. The way he talks. What would you feel? You feel bad, right? But the Bible here, as we can see in the book of James, people were speaking against one another. In chapter 3, they were talking in hurtful words. Are we the same? Do we talk to people in hurtful words? Do we say nasty things? When the Bible says do not speak against one another, one of the implications there is do not question the legitimate authority. That is speaking against somebody. When your mother or father tells you to do something and you question them. When your kuya, Santino, when your kuya tells you to do something and you say, why do I have to follow you? That's questioning them. Bettina, when your kuya tells you, Bettina, I have to do this, then you say, why? Why do I have to do that, kuya? That's questioning them. That's equals to speaking against. So when the Bible says, don't speak against your brother, that means don't speak against, don't question the authority above you. It also means that you are not to slander. What do you mean by slander? You are not to say something negative to somebody. Like you heard the news and you tell your friends, guess what? I heard that si ganon is like that. That's slandering. Even if you're telling the truth. That's speaking against. And we are not to do that. Right? I'm asking myself, whenever you guys come to me and say, Dad, do you know what? Bettina did this, Bettina did that. Are you speaking against your sister? Bettina, when you come to me and say, you know what, Dad? Kuya did this, Kuya did that, Santino did this, Santino did that. Are you speaking against them? I think so. And maybe the way you should say is, Dad, you know what? I'm concerned about Bettina. Why? Because I'm not sure if she realized that when she does these things, she's disobedient. Sometimes when you tell me some things, you say it with the intent of putting them down. You can say the same thing, but with the intent of putting them up. So the Bible says, let's not speak against one another. Another way is to speak against one another also is when you tell a lie. He killed. Ikaw, Santino, I think you do this. Kuya lied. And you were lying. Ate did this. And you're not telling the truth. James was writing to people who were, remember, fighting and fighting, talking and talking, but not showing love, but not showing good works, always saying something negative about the other. And James is saying, stop that. Stop doing that behavior. Because that behavior is conforming to the world's behavior. We are not of this world. You are now children of God. You are now part of the family of God. And if you're part of the family of God, then act according to the family of God. If you're part of the family of Queen Elizabeth, how would you walk? Would you walk like or would you walk regal? Would you talk properly? Right? Why? Because you're now part of the family of God. And He's telling them, stop this. You're part now of the family of God. And it says here in verse 11, he who speaks against a brother or judges his brother speaks against the law and judges the law. What does that mean? It means that if you criticize, if you question, if you gossip, if you slander your brothers, you are also judging your brother. Right? How do you judge your brother when you slander or speak against? You're basically saying he's not worthy. He's not valuable. He should not be praised by man. He should not go ahead of me. Because of the jealousy inside of you, you slander. You pull them down. You judge them. So when you speak against a brother, you are judging them. And not only that, you are speaking against the law. What does that mean? When you speak against a brother, you are disobeying the very core of the law of God. Which is what? It was echoed in Leviticus chapter 19. I think it's chapter 19, verse 18. That you are to love your neighbors. Remember when some people ask Jesus, "Oh, Jesus, what's the greatest law?" There's only, the laws can be summarized in two: love God and love your neighbor. Ask yourself. And when you speak against your brother, you break that law. You break the law of loving God. Not only that, I mean, question. If you really love somebody, will you speak against them? No. If you really love somebody, will you question their authority? No. Will you lie about them? No. In fact, you will protect them if you love them. And the Bible is saying, if you speak against somebody, you are breaking the command of God. The spirit where all command emanates from, which is loving God and loving your neighbors. Not only do you speak against the law, you judge the law. What do you mean by that? When the Bible says you judge the law. You judge the law because you are denying the authority of the law. You are judging and saying, you know what? That law is not applicable to me. I need not do it. You know, these people, they're church leaders. They know their Bible. They know the law, but they say, you know, that law is good, but it does not apply to me. And you judge it as something that has no authority over you. Right? You say, you know, I'm right. He's wrong. And you speak against. Why? Because you think you're smarter. Remember in chapter 3? People are acting as if I know more than you about these spiritual things. I have more knowledge. I want to be a teacher. I want to be the head of the church. And trying to go up the ladder of the church, I will speak against people. I will lie about people. I will question their authority. That's the same thing happening now in corporations. They call it the rat race. They say it's dog eat dog. When people talk against one another to be promoted, the Bible says, you're breaking the law of love. And you're saying that that law of love does not apply to you. Therefore, you have the right to judge. Verse 12, there's only one lawgiver and one judge, the one who's able to save and destroy. But who are you, judge? Who are you who judge your neighbor? Basically, what the Bible is saying, are you God? Who are you to judge? Who are you to speak? Who are you to question people's character? Who are you to speak down to them? There's only one God. There's only one lawgiver. There's only one judge. And it is not you. So why are you acting as if you're the judge? As if you're exempted from the law? Romans chapter 14 says, you know, don't judge your brothers. Don't condemn them. Why? You did not create them. One day, I will judge them. Why? Because I created them. They are responsible and accountable to me. But as for you, who are you? What right do you have? This morning, I desire that all of us might check our hearts. And if we judge people, let us confess. And let the law of love reign in our lives. Thus says the Lord. Amen.